What is up, guys? So, I'm still waiting for Steve to finish up balancing. It's kind of like the main holdup that's been pausing the new stuff for V-mount inducting and turbo stuff. And I guess I'll show you guys what I was up to for the last, honestly, it was just one day. So, a lot of you probably haven't seen any of the hardline stuff. So, did a hardline, kicks out, goes down, and around to the electric water pump. Yes, I had a fabricator do the electric water pump. Yeah, and ended up redoing that. So, besides that, I moved the Mac solenoids. I'm not sure if you guys remember, they were right here and right here. And visually pleasing, I was like, you know what? I got this. So, what I'll end up doing is doing a DTM like 8-pin or something like that. So I've got the 3 wires here, 2 here, and then this one goes across to the other one right here. This I believe is the bottom gate. Actually, this is the bottom. So this will go to underneath here, the bottom gate, and then it'll also go down underneath here to the bottom gate here. The uppers, of course, would be the same path coming from this one, go up and go over. It's a little bit warmer in this position, but I think that overall this is a much tidier, both for wiring and design, and I'm not running, AN stuff all the way over and through the intake and then out. It was great for a cooler temperature, but definitely not what we want for overall packaging, because this is going to be at this point a show car, right? Might as well make it look good. So, next plan of attack. Let's see. Wastegates are currently 12 psi, and being that I've got drive-by-wire, I can pretty much do my traction control based on the drive-by-wire opening, as well as the turbo bleed off that you guys have seen in some of my design stuff and the picture stuff. So realistically, if I run 16 or 17 psi, which would kind of be the most pump gas can handle on this turbo, which spins so nice, barely touch it. 16 or 17 psi on this configuration, when it comes to back pressure of the system, and the reason why I have 2 Mac solenoids might not be necessary. So usually you can get a little bit more than 2.5 times your total spring rate. So on a 12 psi spring, I'll usually see a wastegate flutter at about 30 psi. Make sense? So if I'm up to 16 pounds, I might not need the upper gate to work an open loop to handle that. So, let me show you guys what else I'm up to. On this side, moved the coil bracket, made new brake lines. This guy had a little kink right here, totally an eyesore. I want to do it eventually, but for now, I'll show you guys the other heater core. So, these I think I nailed for visually pleasing. And the heater core line goes across, down, and because this is the dummy block, once I spin this fitting around, it'll go right to here. Right, it's currently hitting this right here, and I'm only going to have one of these, so I'm going to chop this off, and this will suck in really nice there. So, look at that. This line is my -10 feed. Kind of made the same arc. And then the back end, it splits into dual 8AN. So that'll have a 90. That'll go to the primary rail and the secondary rail. Between them are going to be pressure dampers from Radium. They're the XR series. So they have a vacuum reference on the top. Now, let's see. You guys have seen the brake booster. You've seen these mil-spec connectors, which are the actual legit ones. But let me show you guys what I did underneath the car. So, let's see if I can even get this on camera very well. I am using the cell phone tonight. So, our hardline, one is NICOP and one is aluminum. FYI, anyone who's doing this stuff themselves, aluminum is the way to go. NICOP is the solution for what I would say is the better choice for brake lines, but not for anything having to do with anything bigger than 1/2 inch. So, or even 3/8. Now we're going to come back. And I left this line this way because I'm going to be attempting to put my cooler right here. To do that, I still have to cut the transmission for the Wasp starter. And the cooler I originally had slanted like this. So it's probably not going to work. But at least you can see the idea of the layout. And being that I'm particular, all of my important stuff is away from the exhaust side. Cold side of the car, hot side of the car. And yeah, full 4-inch exhaust. The Mark Williams drive shaft, I'm going to be waiting till I get this new adapter. So Weir Performance down in American Canyon, I believe it is. They have this adapter that I ordered up. They're truing it up for me, and it's a Toyota to a 1350 joint. So that's going to be going down here, taking that, going direct to a 31 spline GM T56 Magnum, and then my drive shaft overall length is like 37 3/4, subtracting off, of course, the slip and the yokes and that sort of stuff. So got the final dimensions. I'm just waiting to get this part first in case it does somehow magically change our distance there. And let's see, you guys have probably seen the wastegate merge stuff. You've probably seen all the exhaust stuff. Mainly what I just did today was tidying things up. So I've got a brand new way that I did my check valves in the back. I'm going to be tucking this line really tight. And then I've got the hard line. Let's see if I can zoom in. There we go. So my hard line swoops over, and I wanted to have a little bit of flex in this. So I'm using a Dell clamp there. And then I've got a hard fitting I'm going to put right here. This is going to be just a clamp that separates them. And yeah, fuel system's very, very nicely tucked up there. So just a few minor things, like I've got to tighten this thing. And besides that, it's been a full day underneath the car, and I loved it. As much as I like to tune all your guys' cars, this is really what I'm good at, or what I enjoy doing. So, yeah, manifolds that won't break. There you go. So, I guess there's one last thing I can mention. This stuff you guys have asked a multitude of times. This is actually a theme that I've been doing the whole car in. So I did it here, did it here. I've got it for my V-mount ducting, which this V-mount has to have kind of a weird curve. I'm going to build little L brackets here, and then a standoff on each of these. And then I'm going to do one off here as well. And so it's going to be kind of a straight shot here, and then it curves out to the front of the bumper. Then it'll have a divider this way, where the intercooler air is coming in, and then I'm going to try to make it adjustable at the very front. So I'll make a pivot point right about here, where my finger was actually. and I'll pivot that front to increase or decrease the airflow going to the intercooler. Which I guess brings me to one other thing. So this V-mount will be for sale. I have a new plan of attack for what I want to do. It is beefier than this. This should handle, realistically, this is a radiator that's designed for like a 850 horsepower NASCAR. Something like that, a little bit bigger than that, maybe than that. So this is good stuff. It's circle track. It's got 2 FB and FC oil coolers. And it's probably going to be for sale because I have a interesting idea I want to do in the front. And you can see that I have AC right there. So, oops. Ooh, zoomed in the wrong way there. AC is right there. So, AC is all integrated. This is a new 500 watt spall that I just put on with, I traded Alex. He needed the 300 watt variant that's good for 22 amps or something because he's running it on a Haltech PDM. And I was like, yo, I've got my ECU master that handles 40 amp circuits all day long. So if I needed to, I could put that on 325 amps and run 75 amp circuit to it. So I got the biggest fan I can get because you guys know me, I'm Captain Overkill. So I guess that's really it for now. I have a whole slew of ideas for how I'm going to run electrical, but I think you guys might really like how I did that hard line, and then this is going to go kind of like 60s or something that'll look really good to the intake manifold for the fuel rails. So I can kind of see like here, and then it's going to go kind of like that. And then it's going to split between these two where I can run them both. The idea was to run split, but I can run them both underneath. So, really, really enjoying getting back in the garage. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. As always, I guess like and subscribe, whatever the other YouTubers say. So stupid. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a doer. There's a difference.